Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas basketball's 67-57 win over Oklahoma here in Norman. And I think the final 22 minutes of the game here looked like a vintage Kansas road performance, which is something you cannot say about KU's road performances of late that have resulted in consecutive losses. And as a result, KU gets its first road win since January 16th. We're talking a month without a road win for KU, and it involves some pretty bad losses within that and just within the road games for KU. And I think for the first 18 minutes of this game, it felt like things were probably trending that direction. It filled a very similar recipe that we've seen in these games recently. The opposing team goes crazy from three, and KU's offense looks out of sorts. And all of a sudden, I think the moments that kind of changed the game the first time is that stretch at the end of the first half where KU closes it. The KU's down by 11 with 2:15 to play, and then there's a 6-0 run to end the half that gets it down to 5 points. You hear Bill Self talk all the time about how important it is to get either your lead extended before half if you're KU leading the game, or to cut that deficit before the half. And this was one of those opportunities for KU, and they came out in the second half and changed some things. In the first half, Oklahoma went 7 of 12 from three. And Oklahoma really attacked what KU calls their tag man, because what KU's done this year with Hunter Dickinson, it's a very similar scheme to what KU did with David McCormick, where they have a hard hedge and then it's on one of the guys covering the corners to go in and bump the roll man in the middle. Well, what KU did in the second half was work really, really hard to keep Hunter Dickinson from ever having to guard a ball screen. And a lot of credit should go to KJ Adams for that. If you go back and watch some parts of the second half, and I'm still going through the whole second half here post-game, but from the parts I've watched so far, about probably 10 minutes of it, you see KJ work really hard to switch with Hunter before they go and set the ball screen, or they make sure that when they get down the floor that KJ's the guy guarding the 5-man and Hunter then is guarding the 4, who typically is standing in the corner. And that adjustment changed everything, because Kansas goes then and is able to defend the three-point arc because KJ is so much better on the perimeter than Hunter Dickinson is. And as a result, Oklahoma goes 1 for 11. And the Sooners struggled mightily in the second half. They made 4 shots. They went 4 of 22 in the second half. That's insane. I can't remember a team making 4 baskets in an entire second half. So credit goes to KU for that defensive performance. And offensively, there was some timely shot making. Look, I don't think Kevin McCullough looked like himself. Obviously so. He had plenty of time off trying to heal the bone bruise in his knee. He makes the big corner 3 right behind me, right back there. DeJuan Harris makes the big 3. And all of a sudden the game flips. And from then on, KU really did control things. And I think overall, you just look at this second half performance and it's encouraging long term, because it again shows that Kansas can adjust on the fly. It shows that there is a toughness that Bill Self questioned when we talked to him on Thursday. Because in the first half, KU did not get to the free throw line. And then in the second half, all of a sudden, it's a procession to the free throw line, right? Guys are being aggressive. They're going to the rim. And KU did not make all their free throws. Like that, it's going to happen sometimes. But that aggressiveness really helped KU early in the second half to kind of keep pace, steady the tide, and then turn the game around when they were able to get into another gear that I don't think we've seen KU reach on the road in a little bit. So that for me is really encouraging. Now, KU gets the week off. That is so huge for this team right now. Kevin McCullough gets time to heal up even more. Hunter Dickinson, who's quietly been dealing with some injuries and has been pretty banged up, gets some time to heal. DeJuan Harris, who's been playing way too many minutes, gets time to rest. And then comes the home stretch. KU has a string of home games where they play at home to Texas, they host BYU before they go on the road to play Baylor. And that for me is going to be the big litmus test. Because if KU goes on the road and beats Baylor, all of a sudden you're talking about the conference title being up in the air going into last week. And look, considering the fact that Kansas has 5 losses right now, that's all you can ask for. And so for KU, there's still a lot to play, and they've just got to continue this second half performance from today and carry that into the final, 80 minutes on the road at Baylor and at Houston. Those games aren't going to be easy, but this is a KU team that maybe this was their moment. Maybe this is the time when they come together and spark that run and are able to win 3 straight conference games for the first time this year. These are things that haven't happened for KU so far, and obviously it remains to be seen if it happens, but this is the type of moment I think that KU needed and should give them plenty of confidence going into this week off. So those are my thoughts. Obviously, stay tuned to the website. We've got all the videos post-game from the players we talked to, from Bill Self. Make sure you're checking those out on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're checking out the website. Plenty of content to come. It's going to be a week off, no game, but we'll have plenty of stuff to write about, plenty of stuff to talk about over the next 7 days before KU takes on Texas. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.